Hi, it's Carrie with Colorado Tulips. We're in the backyard of my Zone 5B garden. It is July 25th and we had a massive rainstorm yesterday. The plants are all very happy to have had the rain, but I do water them regularly too, but you can really see here how the red amaranth just got splayed a little bit into an octopus form by the rain coming through. I really like how the color coordinates with the snapdragons. Plus, this is the first year that I've ever attempted to grow elephant ears, and wow, look at that go. You know, it's a couple of gladiolus and possibly a couple of the crocosmias survived to be showing their sword-like foliage here. We'll see what happens there. You can see that the Supertunia Vista bubblegums have been doing really well. Actually, Vista bubblegum is over here. And I think with some plain blue salvia, I actually prefer the trailing silverberry, I think, overall. Which, I would say for me, they've been sort of the same vigorousness. I think you could even see a little pollinator hanging out on the salvia up there, a bee. But the Supertunias, the bubblegums, have been kind of hit by the wind more, kind of coming from this end, which pulls them up and then sort of breaks them off a little bit. So on the one side, you can see that that's more sparse just because so much has been broken off. On this side, yeah, definitely looking better there. So, but yeah, it's been just beautiful to be blocking the views of these houses. Let's real quick just pop downstairs and take a look at a couple of the pots plus the raised bed. I think that the tomatoes that are in the raised bed have definitely been pushing more fruit on them than the tomatoes here in the pot, even though this is a very large pot. I mean, I'd say this is probably a 20-inch pot. The rain, I think, has been better than I have been in keeping the flower buds, ready to be pollinated, because I think the tomatoes are quite sensitive to that. Here you can see a couple of morning glories. This one here has a bit more of kind of a ragged petal on the flowers, and this here very similar color but more traditional blooms. The cosmos that I'm growing for the first time are doing great. You can tell I definitely crowded these pots with too many things. Before they're potted up, they look so bare, and now all of a sudden I've got morning glories and cosmos and gladiolus. I've moved a couple more things out of this pot here, but you can still see that there's a couple of, I think that's a dahlia in there, a couple of little bezels, some gladiolus. Yeah, they're just staying very populated here. But all right, so here in the raised bed, you can see more of the tomato fruits. You can also just see, how sensitive it is to the water here in Colorado, that it just drops the buds instead of setting fruit. With all that rain, we've got some more buds there. This is very interesting. These are potatoes that just volunteers popped up from non-thoroughly composted stuff, but there's the blooms. And then here I had to look up what this was. These are potato fruits. They look like little tiny tomatoes. They are, of course, potatoes and tomatoes are in the same nightshade family, but potatoes normally just drop their buds without forming any fruits at all. So that was quite unusual, just because we had such a wet spring and summer so far. The cosmos are doing well. We've got zinnias in here. We've even got a couple of radishes that I popped in. There's even still some tulip foliage, and in the yard a couple of pieces of daffodil foliage that have not yet fallen back, just because they've been really gathering up energy. I think that is a leftover cucumber seed from last year that decided to sprout. We'll see what's going on there. It's being shaded by the sunflowers. But yeah, it's so nice to see green things. So we'll see how this progresses. I'm hoping that I actually get some flowers that I can cut. Take care, have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.